What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka Ooh Ooh Ah Ah, Bow Staff, Do Damage. I am joined by.
Sean MF Ross.
What does the MNF stand for?
I am not a monkey, but I like to play one from time to time.
Right? I am neither, but cosplay. This is Press X Star Gamers Digest, a video podcast that condenses the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We are live on YouTube every Sunday when we can make it because life is hard.
But listening to us is easy.
Yes, it is. Don't forget, you can support us by liking our video, this video, by subscribing to the channel, this channel, and liking the video, this video. And then also hit the notification bell, because if you do that, you'll be able to see the rest of the stuff that we create all the time. It's just, you know, video game stuff. Anyways, if you are listening, we greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or a podcast service you're currently tuned in on. And if you want, you can join our conversation by joining our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. I had to kind of rush through all that to get that out the way because we got a a bunch of just stuff that happened because Gamescom is just literally happening right now as I'm talking. Actually, technically, yeah, because of the whole time difference in Germany. Yeah, it's happening right now.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, now that's all out the way. Let's get into the gaming news. Black Myth Wukong smashes Palworld and Counter-Strike 2 to become the second most played Steam game of all time, less than a day after launch, and it's gaining on PUBG's gold medal. This comes to us from PC Gamer. So yeah, Black Myth Wukong. It was a game, it is a game, and it came out, and it has just been smashing. And you might be wondering, like, why is it doing this well? Well, because of China. So, like, 80%. Say what?
China. Hey, Marcus, can we get that sound bite? Donald Trump saying "Ask China"?
Can we get someone impersonating Donald Trump? Let's not give him the actual click, So yeah, like, and this stuff is being tracked by Steam database. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and just check the number right now as we're talking, and I can't read this to save my time.
Last time I checked, it was 2.2 million, 2,223,000 and some change concurrent players, and that's just on Steam.
Wait,
Apparently, huh?
you said 2.2.
Two
This
two
is
million.
2.3 million.
Oh, okay, so up to 2.3. Okay. And
That's
then
insane.
yeah. And it's also driving PS5 sales faster than the PS4.
So the
Hey,
okay.
hey. It drove PS5 to the top of Alibaba Tmall. Whatever the hell that is.
Alibaba is like the Chinese
Yeah, I know what that is, and I don't know what
Amazon
the
or
Tmall
something.
is, but it
Oh,
is
I don't
selling
know.
twice as fast than the PS4 did in China. So, I
That
mean,
is
when you make
that
a
is
game
insane.
respectful of, a culture's culture,
Yes.
country's culture, they'll come and support it. Plus, I mean, they have the largest. They're projected to be one of the largest markets in the coming
Yeah,
years.
exactly.
They
And
have
like that's one of the biggest things here is that, like, this is essentially the China effect. This is a thing that the industry I don't know. I don't know if China effect is a bad thing. I'm just gonna use it right now. If it is, I apologize. I did not mean to offend, but this is just a thing that we are reading and we're seeing and we're witnessing. But like, this is a thing that the industry is chasing in terms of this player base that has been
yeah.
pretty much untapped by most of the US, like, in
They
a
don't
games
know what
industry.
that market wants.
Exactly. That's the thing. And like, that's why, like, it hasn't been tapped in the same way. Also, like, they don't I mean, they have consoles, but it's just kind of weird over there in terms of like how tight China is on regulating stuff. And
Yeah.
It's easier to have a game on Steam do well over there than a game on console. But
Yeah.
this seems to be like kind of breaking that barrier down. But again, like this, if you don't know, Black Myth Wukong is essentially a retelling of Sun Wukong, which is the Monkey King, which is what Goku from Dragon Ball, actually mostly Dragon Ball is based off of. Like Goku, like Son Goku is Sun Wukong. So yes, like that's how old this is actually the whole Sun Wukong thing is way older than that. This is like myths and legends. Um so yeah, it is insane to see that it's doing this well. The actual game itself, we'll talk about it in the what we've been playing section. So Sean and I have been playing Black Myth Wukong. Um so Sean, do you yeah, actually you can go ahead and give your impressions on it because I've played a bit more than you have.
Yeah. So at first, the intro seemed pretty cool, but I did not like his voice. And I thought that was gonna be is that a spoiler?
No, it's not a spoiler.
I thought that was gonna be who you were gonna be playing as. So you start out as the actual like
Sun Wukong.
yeah, but it's two different
Yeah.
people, or is he resurrected?
S-
I think it's two
a
different
little bit
people.
of A column, B column.
Okay.
Because
Oh yeah.
the I think the point is resurrection,
Hmm.
but you're not actually the same character.
So you start out as the monkey god. I'm not sure. They didn't, I don't remember what they said his name was the same as Sun Wukong,
Yeah.
but
It's Sun Wukong. It's Sun
his
Wukong.
voice was hella annoying to be the main character, and I'm glad that he only you only playing for him as 20-30 minutes.
Yeah, not much. Not much.
Um, Gameplay wise, the game feels solid. There's a weird thing, and maybe it's me with when I'm turning the camera, it gets kind of blurry, or I don't know. I don't like the way it looks. Maybe I need to turn
Yeah.
down the blur, but it's
Yeah. I the first thing I did, I jumped into settings and I was pressing them buttons. I was like, I don't want motion blur. I turned off some other stuff too. Yeah, turn that off. Just you don't need it. You don't need it.
okay.
It's just yeah.
I'm wondering if that's affecting the performance as well. I'm not sure, but
Did you
overall, huh?
did you do graphics, performance, or balance?
I got performance mode.
Okay, I did balance, but I'll turn off the motion blur and like it runs really good on balance.
I'm wondering if that's the issue. But
Yeah.
other than that, I don't know if there's a map in the game. Is there?
No,
Have you?
there's no map.
Okay.
No,
So
there's no
you're
map.
wandering around, but it seems pretty linear with some branching paths.
Hmm.
Um, I think it seems unique enough to where you're not getting lost. You can kind of make your way around because I did go off the beaten path and like loop back to different portions. Um, he feels pretty fun to play as. You have a bunch of skill trees. It is not a straight up boss rush the way it was described, at least from what I've seen so far.
I
Um,
agree. It's not.
I did not beat the man with the fire staff or whatever. I got stuck
Okay.
on the big headed wandering white, that blue guy. He's just whooping my ass, and I didn't take the time to learn his attack patterns or cheese the freeze spell. But I'm enjoying it, but I want to
Yeah.
finish Final Fantasy before I give Black Myth Wukong my full attention. So I have
Yeah.
also jumped to Final Fantasy. I may be like 3 or 4 chapters away from finishing that.
Okay.
I
Okay. That's
definitely
what's
will
up.
not be doing the full platinum now out of that other game.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, I completed again, I started the game last night and I completed chapter 1 last night. I believe there are 6 chapters, maybe 6 or 7 chapters.
mm,
Um I am also really enjoying this game. The game, people are trying to peg it as a Souls like. It is not a Souls like. The game is hard, the game is challenging, but it's not a Souls like. If you die in this game, you don't lose your XP or lose your like essence or souls and you got to go get it and get it back or whatever. It's none of that. Like if you die if you die at any point in the game, you will just restart back at the last like
checkpoint.
prayer like essence thing. And it's like a
Yeah,
checkpoint essentially. And um you can kind of farm like enemies like in certain areas to like
it just
gain
takes a while.
levels. Yeah. You can also respec your character at any point in time. Um I really like the combat. Like I kind of had to get used to the fact that okay, well, there's no parrying and there's no blocking. It's just dodging. And you have a perfect dodge and you just have a normal dodge. And you get, with levels up, you get skill points. You can put those skill points into increasing the effects and the efficiency of your dodge, your stamina use, your damage dealing, your skills, all that stuff. It's just a
Yeah,
3D or third person action like
it's a good old
platform.
hard action game like they used to make them.
Exactly. That's exactly what this is. And like I'm really enjoying it. Right now I'm playing the very beginning part of the game so
Mhm.
you can see Sun Wukong. If you know the story, like I know a bit of the story, and like this part I kind of popped off because I was like, oh my god, I actually know what's happening here. Like this is really cool. But yeah, like I find the game very interesting. Like it is so cool to see. Like I'm gonna call this a AAA game just because the production value, the
Yeah,
production quality of this is like top tier. Like it is so cool to see a triple A like game of this stature come to us that is dealing with mythology that is completely different from the Japanese mythology, the North mythology that we like see all the time.
yeah.
So like it's really cool.
I
In
like that.
term Good.
What they originally showed us. Granted, I think it was a little bit more graphically intense. It may look better on the PC, but it's not
Yeah.
complete bullshit compared to
Yeah.
what they originally announced. It
Yeah.
looks pretty close to what they promised.
Yeah.
Um,
They got it as close as
and
possible.
I would give this a pass for any gripes that I may come up with, just because this is their first AAA game coming
Yeah.
from. They used to make mobile games. Like this is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. Like they stepped up to the plate and they hit a home run and this is doing like really really well. Um in terms of the enemies and like the bosses are hard. Like there is a skill check with that blue big-headed dude
Wandering
pretty
Light.
early on. Yeah, wandering right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And like when you guys were talking about him, I was like, all right, I'll see what he's about. I ran up to him, but he said, not today. And I was like, oh God. I was like, okay, let me go figure this game out some more and I'll be back for you, sir. But like, and that's what I did. Like I went around, like, I beat the fire guy. I
Mhm.
got his ability, and like I went back to the wandering might, fought him again. I died again. And I was like,
Wait, should I
okay,
fight the fire dude first?
yeah, you can fight the fire dude first. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if
Yeah.
like the path
If it was
to
gonna
proceed was behind him or the wandering white.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the one thing that I would kinda ding the game is, like, I might be all off base here, like, somehow I was able to do the trail to the main path kinda thing,
Mhm.
but I couldn't figure out how to, like, do it on purpose. It would just kinda happen sometimes. I think there needs to be a bit more signaling of, like, this is the main path. Like, you can do side stuff, but
Mm,
this is the main path, or, like, a little marker out in the
something like
distance, like
Elden Ring kinda where, there's a light or essence guiding me to the next.
exactly,
Okay.
exactly, yeah.
It has that sometimes.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Like, it triggers for some reason, but at least I don't know how to do it. I can go look in the menus and
Yeah,
figure
I
out
was
if
gonna
there's
say
actually
Final
another way.
Fantasy also has that, so I was trying to figure out if I
Yeah,
was getting them confused.
yeah. So, like, that's the one thing that I'll ding it for because I basically had that same issue where I was like, "Okay, well, I could go fight this fire guy over here, but then I gotta fight the big
I'm
head
I'm
blue
not gonna
guy."
ding them for that. They shouldn't
Yeah.
have to hold your hand.
Well,
And
that's
I
true
and I and
too.
I and I don't mean your hand specifically, but
Yeah.
it's more of a there's no map. Just
Just figure it
Amble your
out.
way through the game and have fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And like that ended up being the thing that I ended up doing was just like, okay, well, I'll just poke and prod this way, go to a certain point, stop, turn around, go back and just like explore like literally the area in that way and
Mhm.
just figure out, can I go down this path? I can't. Okay, let me go try this path. I can go down this path. Okay. And like I think that system works really, really well. And like on top of like all of that, like I feel like the actual things that I'm finding, I'm figuring out what they do. Like I got to the point where I can craft armor and weapons. Well, I can
Mhm.
craft armor and I can upgrade my weapon. And like I kind of made a mistake and I was like, dang, I just ran out of silk. I got to figure out how to get more silk now. And it's just the thing of just like you're just having to learn this game. Um I don't I'm thinking if I have any negatives for this game right now, and I don't really have, and also I'm also really early in this game. I well, okay. The one thing that I need to figure out a bit more is how dodging works with combat because it feels like I dodge and I kind of get stuck not being able to hit for a second or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like how the game works or if I'm doing something wrong. So that's something that I got to figure out before I can, fully say like, okay, well, this thing is like a problem. Um, yeah, and then like the controls, I feel like the controls are pretty solid. They allow you to customize your buttons, which I love. Every game should do that. Just let me
Mhm.
set my buttons, and if I make a mistake, I can fix that. But yeah, overall, I'm having a good time with the game. Yeah, man. Like, I fought a. This is no spoiler because they actually show you this in one of the promo trailers. I fought a gold-headed version of that blue-headed, the Wandering White,
Oh gosh.
and like, yeah, I thought like I was gonna have a problem with him, but I beat him like the first try.
Mm.
And that's the thing too is like once you get a sense of like how the game works,
Yeah.
like you're able to really, really like dig in and like really play the game. And then like also just looking at the skills and stuff. I saw a way of so okay, I will talk about real quick about the um there is three fighting styles. There's a normal smash with the bow staff. There is a um like a power pole, like a Goku power pole where the bow staff
Mhm.
extends out. That's a style. And then there is like a style where you jump on the bow staff and it extends going straight up. Then you can like jump off, flip off, and use the bow staff and like hit someone going down or whatever. Those are the three different styles that you can like spec into with your skill points. And apparently the different bosses you fight are susceptible to like those styles.
Yeah.
So you can run to a boss, fight the boss, lose to the boss, and be like, okay, let me take my skill points and put it into the power pole like pushing
Oh,
style,
respec it,
and like
repeat
that
each
could be
boss.
more effective. Yeah.
Okay.
So like that
I
was
probably
something that
won't
I
do that.
didn't know. But like that was something that I didn't know until I saw a video of like this person like, oh, I just beat this boss like easy. And like, yeah, it was just like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. So yeah, the game is really great. I'm having a good time. You'll get more of this from us in the future once we get further in this game. But right
Yeah.
now, that is it. That is it for this episode of Press X Start Gamers Digest. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Oh, wait. Let me get out of that and redo that because that's going to be a pain for me. Well, now that is it for this episode of Press X Start Gamers Digest. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed making it and talking to you about video games. Don't forget, you can support us by liking this video, subscribing to this channel, and hit the notification bell. Don't forget, you can do us a solid by leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music, whatever podcast service you're currently tuned in on. And if you want, you can join the conversations at our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. Until next time, we'll be talking about more games, of course. We hope you have a good day, a good night. Wash your hands, play video games. And at the end of all that, play some more video games. Peace.